The last time Jared and I were in the airport, I was looking through the magazines and I found one that caught my eye. I always look at the magazine headlines because some of the language is just so absolutely ridiculous, and I know that it's just, to sell magazines, but I thought it might be kind of fun to pick out one and look through it and kind of decide how much of the magazine was clickbaity and just trying to sell a product versus helpful information. And the one that did really catch my eye was Dr. Oz's The Good Life, Weight Loss, the best flat belly foods. Now, I get the question all the time, how do I lose belly fat? And I'm thinking that Dr. Oz is gonna solve all my problems here with these flat belly foods. So let's hop right into it. For those of you who have not been to the PRIDEFIT channel before, welcome. My name is Sam. I am the owner of PRIDEFIT, which is an LGBTQIA forward community looking for sustainable health. So we'll be talking about different nutrition tips, debunking some nutrition tips. We'll be talking about movement. I'll be releasing some workouts, So if you're interested in that, you can subscribe to this channel and make sure you follow us on Instagram at PRIDEFITofficial for more great healthy tips. Okay, let's hop in. So boost your metabolism, make good habits stick, stress less, lose more. I love that, sounds great. Okay, so Dr. Oz is interesting to me. I'm not sure I really understand him. The first two pages say how women see themselves. So I think this is a magazine generally geared toward women, which I also don't really understand. Let's just start off. I think this is a mistake. I think that us kind of gendering how weight loss and movement and nutrition should be is purely so that we can sell them differently and so that those industries can make money by selling men's products and women's products. I think it's absolutely manufactured, and I'm trying to continue to have this conversation because I feel like I always hear, well, your workouts are more geared toward men. And I just think to myself, like, they're not. They're not. They're geared toward humans, and everyone should be moving their body regardless of gender. So trying to get out of this mindset of like, this is a women's magazine, or I'm selling to women, or this is a women's workout or a men's workout. I just don't get it. Anyway, okay. It says, let's start here. The signs of body fat. 5 types of fat: white fat, visceral fat, brown and beige fats, cellulite. All very interesting, all things that people really care about, but don't really need to. It's like the knowledge of what types of fat you have in your body sure is important, but they're talking about brown fat, and brown fat is like the good fat that burns other stored fat for energy. And they say, so far, we know that exposing yourself to mild cold for 2 to 6 hours can increase brown fat over the course of a month. And you're just like, yeah, but this isn't an actionable step. We shouldn't be like, oh, I really gotta work on my brown fat, right? It's just like not helpful. But I do think that it can kind of trick people into thinking that this is how they can get healthier, which is tough. You know what, I need to back up. I shouldn't be so cynical about this magazine. I think I've kind of come in with a negative perception of it, but it actually could be really helpful. So take a step back, Sam. Okay, losing it. It says, it can be done, here's the straight truth. Yes, you can drop fat all over by exercising. So I think that this is trying to combat the myth that we can, do an ab workout and lose belly fat. That's called spot treatment. It's definitely been debunked, and it is saying moderate intensity exercise or HIIT can be helpful with burning fat. Okay, but the tricky part here is actually in number 2. It says, no, you can't control which areas slim down. While cells in some parts of your body will likely let go of fat more quickly than others, it's highly individual. Exercise may help one person lose fat in the belly, for another it might be in the butt. So this is something we really need to remember, because especially when I get that question, it's always like, I just need to do more abs, and no. Unfortunately, there's a possibility that you could do all the working out in the world and your belly fat might be the last fat to go. And that is just based on genetics, based on a lot of different factors. And so we kind of need to remember that, yes, it's a good thing to be doing core work. Your core, your transverse abdominis, this really internal abdominis, are responsible for keeping your vertebra up. It's incredibly important, but not because that is how you're gonna lose belly fat, right? So very good point from Dr. Oz, thanks. I shouldn't give him the credit. I think that someone else is writing this. He has little blurbs at the bottom chiming in, but that's it. Whew. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Had to break for lunch. Okay, where were we? Wake up your metabolism. It says, here's your 3-point exercise plan to find the right moves to kickstart your metabolism. Interval training produces something called an afterburn. You might have heard of this. It means that you continue to torch calories even when you finished a workout. This is something that I think is kind of comical. We're always looking for ways to make different workouts seem more appealing, and this afterburn, although there is some research to suggest that HIIT workouts do have you continuing to burn calories after the workout, doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter, right? I think we get so caught up in what is going to burn the most calories and we stop thinking about what you're actually enjoying. So that was something that definitely stuck out to me. If you are really motivated by the afterburn, maybe HIIT is for you. Maybe HIIT is gonna be enjoyable. But I just think it's so funny, the language, the nomenclature that they use in these magazines. It's just, okay, so they're saying that there are 3 big factors on your metabolism. It's the food that you eat, the movement that you do, and then the stress and sleep factors of your life, which I think are totally valid. I think that is some great information. Okay, I like this. What are the 5 myths about metabolism? Myth number 1, breakfast kickstarts your metabolism. So basically they're just saying that it's not having breakfast that kickstarts your metabolism. It is what you are eating for breakfast that kickstarts your metabolism. We're really looking for that high protein breakfast, right? Instead of those high carb standard American diets. You know, we want to stay away from the bread, the toast, the bagels, the cereal, the pancakes, right? We want to stay into that protein heavy breakfast in eggs and smoothies with some protein powder in it, maybe some meat if you're into that kind of thing, you know? Myth number 2, there isn't any way to counter a slowing metabolism as you age. So saying that staying active and performing weight-bearing exercises is a really great way to keep your metabolism from slowing down as you age. Myth number 3, upping your caffeine intake can make a big difference in your metabolism. They basically say this isn't true, which is good. Like, we shouldn't be messing with that. Myth number 4, a slow metabolism is the only factor that can lead to weight gain. So they're saying that there are actually a lot of factors that lead to weight gain, and one of them that is probably the most important is just how many calories you're eating. And then myth number 5, supplements can safely rev your metabolism. This is the one that we deal with all the time, right? Everyone looking for a quick fix that they can just buy. So they're buying a pill, a caffeine pill, or they're buying, you know, something like ephedrine that is banned in the US because they don't want to put in the work. And that is a really tough mindset because, again, we're not trying to like put in the work like you have to work out 5 hours a day. We're just putting in the work that as long as we do a steady, small amount of work every single day, we're gonna be pretty healthy, right? Like I can make that assessment for most of us. If we are able to just focus on eating non-processed foods and we move our body for 20 minutes a day, I'm pretty sure that you're gonna be so much better off than using these pills, right? Good myths. 10 sane, healthy eating tips. Yeah, I think these are good. Use social media as a resource, not a guidebook. I think that's great. Healthy is personal. I think that's great. Ditch hidden sugars, drink more water. Consider whole over fresh. We've talked about this before, about how sometimes buying frozen vegetables, because they're flash frozen right after they were picked, they actually have higher nutrient value than fresh, right? So that is definitely something that they are recommending here. Yeah, these are good. And then we get into get inspired by these weight loss meals. What exactly is a weight loss meal? Interesting. Oh, you know, just whole foods, but we gotta call it weight loss. Ah, this is what I've been waiting for. Okay, the 7-day belly shrinker. This is exactly what I was looking for. Okay, which foods help depoof your tummy? And which increase the bloat, pudge, and little extra peeking over your waistband? This little plan, they say, is designed to give you an immediate flattening effect by eliminating sneaky foods that go by the acronym FODMAP. Okay, this is interesting because when I first read the title, I really didn't know what to expect when they said the best flat belly foods, right? Now I see they're talking about FODMAPs, which we've talked about before. They can be responsible for causing a lot of bloating and gas. I think this is interesting. I think that the title's misleading, and that's a bummer because I think that the more that we talk about flat belly foods or how to get rid of belly fat, the more people believe that there is an easy solution. The whole idea of eliminating FODMAPs so that your stomach isn't hurting you and so that you're not having, you know, like cramps and bloating and gas all the the time. I love that. I think that that is great. And I think that if you're having these problems, sometimes a low FODMAP diet can be really helpful. And low FODMAP would be like cutting out onions and garlic, asparagus, beets, broccoli, Brussels, milk, beans, wheat, avocados, apples, mangoes, like a lot of things that can upset your stomach. I think this can totally be something that you can try, but again, it sucks because it is misleading, but they do have some great recipes in here for you to try. But yeah, that's interesting. Okay, walk a little, lose a lot. So I guess I'm finding that this magazine is really going through it all. It talks about fat, it talks about your metabolism, it talks about how to quickly make your belly flat. Now they're talking about walking, I should say. It says, can a simple walk really help you shed unwanted pounds? Yes, and here's even better news. Walking is a full body exercise that improves your health from head to toe. It's a super effective way to lose weight. Super effective, don't forget that. So why walking is good for you? It's a boon for heart health. The brain loves exercise. Walking keeps joints healthy. It's just great. Okay. 5 ways walking helps you slim down. Walking can burn up to 400 calories an hour, but putting one foot in front of the other can help you slim down in other more surprising ways too. It can stave off cravings. It helps you sleep better. It reduces stress eating. It keeps you from grazing like you're a cow. And the one that really got me was, it says that walking puts you in a healthy state of mind. So it says, when you go for a walk, you're doing something good for your body. This simple expression of willpower builds on itself. You will be more motivated to stay healthy at mealtime. Walking drives restraint more than other types of exercise. You're less likely to feel like you earned a high calorie reward after a walk compared with the way you might feel after a sweaty run or boot camp class. Okay, now, it's not like I don't agree with this. I absolutely do. Walking is so great, but I think that we get into really dangerous territory when we start comparing different forms of movement and saying that one is better than the other. Saying that you shouldn't go for a run or you shouldn't take a boot camp class because you're gonna feel like you achieved too much and therefore you're going to eat a giant cheat meal or something, that's ridiculous. I hate that we have to say that, you know, walking is better than boot camp or boot camp is better than walking, because it's so dependent upon the person, right? It's so dependent upon what you enjoy and what is sustainable for you. So if you love walking, yeah, that's better than a boot camp. But if you love boot camp, maybe that's better than walking for you. So take time to rest and recover. Ooh, better sleep tonight. Okay, yeah, I like this. I like that they're talking about sleep and recovery. It says fatigue-related weight gain is likely influenced by other factors too. People who don't sleep well tend to be less active than their well-rested counterparts. Blame it on not being able to focus or motivate when you are tired. So I think that's interesting. I think that we do have a little bit more control over our decisions when we are well-rested, and it's really easy for us to push off our movement or push off cleaner eating when we are tired. So I think that's a really good point. Okay, so sorry, I'm all over the place. Had to get some coffee from this nice little gay mug. I don't know if you can see that, that Jared got. Okay, where were we? Oh, okay, so I'm a little weirded out by this magazine because there are tiny little pictures of Dr. Oz, yes, everywhere. This one in particular got me because, you know, there's a typo. I know how important sleep is for your health, so I'm excited to share secret. Product launch. What's funny is that he says visit drozsleep.com for more info and to order products. And I looked it up and it's this crazy thing. Actually, let me see if I can find it. drozsleep.com. Here we go. Stop snoring for good. Wake up without pain. Okay, so what does he have here? Revolutionary sleep systems. Snore stopping adjustable bases. Interesting. Okay, so, oh my God. It looks like you can like set your phone next to your bed, and then when it hears you snoring, it'll like prop up your bed, which is just kind of wild. Like, can you imagine yourself just like, sleeping, and then you're like, what is going on? I think it's too much for me. But you do you, Dr. Oz. We'll see what's next. Okay, and here's Dr. Oz saying, keep the pounds off for good with a nice little measuring tape. And that is, again, one thing that I'm not a big fan of. Who needs to measure? I don't know. I have another video about this, honestly, about kind of what are some good ways to track progress and things that I don't really agree with. I'll put that right there, whatever. And ultimately, I'd say I'd give this magazine like a 5 out of 10. I went into it expecting for the magazine that's called Dr. Oz The Good Life, Weight Loss, The Best Flat Belly Foods to be trash, right? Because I'm just super skeptical about media and how they get people to buy things, but it ended up having a lot of really, really good information in there, but you know, sneaking in between the pages, you could just see these components of the magazine that were just added in so that they could sell the magazine better rather than help people get healthy, right? So I'd say like 5 out of 10. And if you kind of liked me breaking down this media, definitely subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment below just because I don't know if you'll like this. So let me know, and I will see you next week for our first marathon vlog. Bye.